Let's move on to the next part.
Mm.
So once we've got alignment with that hiring manager, the next part is we need to design what are the processes we're going to do to attract a shortlist. So again, what's AI's part in this? Um, Clearly for sourcing,
Mhm.
um, I mean, there's AI products which will allow you to source faster, aggregate the internet, aggregate LinkedIn, rank people according to. The fact is, it's pretty much keyword matching
Mhm.
is what it does. It's not exactly new. A lot of these new
Exactly.
technologies that we see in talent acquisition getting loads of money invested into them, they're not really much different to Intello in
Um,
2016.
I mean, it's not a keyword search because so for instance, a distributor we utilize Daxtra,
Yeah,
so it could actually input. It would look for specific language and
yeah,
but not words and specific information,
yeah,
and then condense that information down into a highly informative paragraph that a TA partner could go through very quickly.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's far better than keyword search.
yeah,
But in essence, what it's doing is, I mean, if you look at AI as a whole, you can allow it to, in some ways, take control as long as you put the right information in from your discovery meeting to
yeah.
create the appropriate advertising or job description, to then automatically from there start to create advertising, push that out, create outreach if you're looking to actually target specific individuals. So a lot of that work is done, but how do I put this? The again we go back to, and I know I'm repeating myself. If we're condensing that and passing that responsibility to automation, then what's that recruiter doing?
Yeah, I mean, at the at the sourcing phase, I'm not entirely sure there's a huge amount today. I think that I mean, obviously, there's certain roles where you need a lot more human judgment,
Mhm.
and in the exec search area and in the sort of purple squirrel kind of hiring, the one-off things that you don't hire, very often. But for quite a lot of it, I do think you can click a button and go, this is the type of person we're looking for, and bang, the search happens. You then get your shortlist, and then you click another button, and the outreach happens.
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a huge amount of time saving in that area. One I want to focus on. We'll cover
Mhm.
we'll cover this sort of from shortlisting onwards next time.
Mhm.
But the other one I want to look at is general kind of the marketing aspect. So developing social media posts, developing and distributing job adverts and that sort
Mhm.
of thing. AI can today select it can identify where are these people hanging out,
Yeah.
what type of message is likely to appeal to that persona. Using an Adway or a Vonk or something like that, you can get or even a Broadbean or something, you can get an Appcast, you can get your messages out into the right communities. You can choose your budget for it. It can switch on or switch off according to the number of people that are applying or otherwise once you've hit a certain quota, that type of thing. Again, so what's the recruiter's role in that one?
Well, I mean, again, I think that it depends. In my mind, it depends on number one, the sort of individual you're looking to secure.
Yes.
I think that's very important. But number two, the question that we're looking at is not what's the recruiter's role in
Yeah.
that. I think the question we're looking at is we know that that can all be provided now. It's there for us. It's talked about ad infinitum. But I think what we're now saying is, okay, what does the recruiter role need to become?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
based around, and I think this will highlight, in some ways, we become not in the real sense, but we become a kind of decision architect.
Yes.
Is that a reasonable
Yep.
phrase for it?
Yep. I
Because
agree.
we're thinking, okay, the recruiters and the talent partners moving forward will need to think better. They'll need to use judgment better. They'll need to interpret more effectively. They'll need to be far more adept in terms of communication and influence.
Yeah.
So I think that's that's the fundamental question. The fundamental question isn't what does the recruiter do in the parts of the process that we're now automating. The fundamental question is what does the recruiter now do? Because that's taken care of. And I do think one of the key things that we all need to remember is AI is in reality at the moment an aggregator of information.
Correct.
So anything that you are taking from AI has been provided before by another individual, and it is aggregating information incredibly quickly across the whole of the internet. So let's not kid ourselves that this is kind of amazing, highly kind of innovative information that we're receiving. But from that, the reality is we go back to 95% of what a talent partner does is incredibly repetitive. So we now need to go, what is the trade-off between cost efficiency, judgment, plus also what I still think is important, human input.
Absolutely agreed. James, let's cover the second part of the recruitment phase next time. I think that it's been an interesting dive into, what should AI actually be doing for recruiters through the process. And we started at the kind of recs on, and we're now at the kind of shortlisting type of area. It's a fascinating topic. Recruitment leaders have got to continuously determine what are the areas where their team adds the most value and fight for that. And every white collar business function, I think, is under pressure today to justify everything they're doing. And of course, there's so much emotional intelligence and nuance in recruiting that we need to do a great job of being able to fight for the teams that we have and the resources that we have. So,
but I think that's the key that you just said, Adam, the emotional intelligence. And that is such a key part of hiring individuals. Recruiters have not been given, I don't think, historically, the level of understanding of the plethora of skill sets that they have to do their role. There's a huge amount of skill sets. But I think I think that the closing thought is AI doesn't make your hiring better. It just doesn't. It exposes what you're currently doing. It exposes a skills gap in your TA partners. What it actually does is hopefully release time to make your hiring process better because you have more judgment, you have more influencing capability, and you have more focus on the parts of the role that can really change decisions.
Absolutely. James, great to see you.
Indeed.
Look forward to talking about the second half in a few days' time.
Sounds good. Brilliant. Thank you, Adam. Have a great rest of the week. Cheers. Bye-bye.